Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. We'll go ahead and get started. Kurt, you can go ahead and give us an opening statement after tonight's game.
Gutsy, big win for us to protect home court, get back in the win column. Really spirited effort by our players defensively in the second half, holding that high-powered offense to 32 points. We talked about coming into the game, how good they are in transition, only 2 transition points, number 1 in the league in second chance points. They only got 4 second chance points all night. We had attention to Marina Mabry. She went scoreless from the field. Arike, you're never going to stop her, but can you make her be a high volume shooter? So we stuck to it. It did not feel well for long stretches in the first half, but we stuck to our game plan. We played with a little bit more feisty, competitive defensive spirit in the second half. And it really propelled us. Offensively, played the entire second half with 3 turnovers, which has been our Achilles heel. We got to that number 12, which is our goal every game. And then ultimately, we started finishing in the paint. I think we made 13 of our last 15 field goals in the paint. So just terrific finishing in the second half down the stretch in the paint. Career high for Breezy, career high for Breanna Jones. DB was in attack mode tonight, but player of the game is Kylee Charles, a huge double-double, got us a lot of extra possessions, just was a big factor all night for us.
Okay, we'll go ahead and open it up to some questions for Kurt. Please raise your hand and I'll call on you. Any, Charlotte? I guess Kurt covered everything in his opening statement.
Yeah,
Usually do.
Very thorough. I guess kind of talking about the third quarter specifically, what changes from or adjustments did you guys make at halftime to really come out and kind of build that push? I think it was like a 21-3 run at one point.
I thought we were aggressive, Charlotte, offensively. We talked about our spacing. We talked about some of their coverages. We just executed better. And again, it started at the defensive end. We started to string together stops, so we were able to get out and run. Some of the offense came a little bit easier. But our spacing was better offensively, and all of a sudden led to a 28-point quarter. You could feel the momentum going, got the crowd behind us a little bit. And we've been really good at home. So we finally, got that going in the second half.
And then with Kahleah, since this is the first game back on the bench for you in a few days, what have you seen just now getting to see her play in person again over the last couple of days, and what has changed so much? Because she's had a string of really good games.
Yeah, it never fails in the WNBA, right? Unintended consequences, unforeseen things, and ours wasn't unforeseen. But with JJ leaving, really opened the door for Kyleah, and she's really taken advantage of her opportunities. This is the Kylee Charles that we saw in the bubble a lot last year. She has a really, really bright future. She is a really talented defensive guard. She's physical. She's big. And I feel the confidence growing because she's not looking over her shoulder. She's going to get minutes. We've talked about she's going to have to play through some mistakes because we just don't have the depth. But it's amazing what opportunity, players have to stay ready for their opportunity. We knew JJ was leaving at some point. We knew this was coming, and we just asked people to stay ready. I'm in there talking to our bench. Our bench didn't score a field goal tonight, but we're going to need them, and they have to stay ready. And to Kyleah's credit, when she wasn't getting a lot of playing time, she has stayed ready.
Alexa?
Hey, Kurt. With Breezy putting up, I guess, back-to-back career highs the last 2 games, especially tonight, being able to really put the team on her back and make some big plays in the last 15 minutes of the game. How much do you see that as continued confidence for her to build off of, especially when JJ's not there to I don't say bail her out, but JJ's not there to be the one to do that, that she can also be that player who steps up and makes big plays to help you guys get a big win.
Yeah, obviously we know how much we believe in Breezy and how much we want to play through Breanna Jones. Take the Olympians out, right? Take Griner and Fouls out. Like, who's doing what Bree Jones is doing on the low block right now in this league? She has really, really proven to be one of the efficient fives in this league, and you can play through her. And she was frustrated at halftime with her 4 turnovers. We didn't help her out and give her a lot of great outlets when they were coming with doubles differently. But again, there's so much confidence from her teammates in her. And then, she's got confidence that she can go score on the low block. So it's just really fun, to coach her. And then ultimately, she is such a terrific defender and doesn't get the credit because she's not a high flying type of post player that's going to get a lot of blocks, but she's a terrific defender.
Michelle?
Yeah, Kurt, this is Michelle Vopel from ESPN. I had 2 questions for you. I hope I'm not getting in the way of anybody that's on deadline. So I wanted to wait till the deadline writers were done. But in general, how good defensively do you think this squad is, and will be when you've got everybody back?
Yeah, I think it's our calling card, Michelle. It's how we have to win games. There's going to be nights where we struggle offensively. We understand who we are. We can look ourselves in the mirror. We're a low 40% typically shooting team, but we're going to win because of our defense. And when you look at how we're built, Jasmine Thomas, Bree January have a long time been considered 2 of the best and most physical guard defensively in the league. And then you have DB's length. Bree Jones is completely underrated defensively. And then you bring back a little bit of rim protection in JJ coming off her 2019 season where she was all defensive. And you can be really, really special. And that's without who I think is the best defender in the world in Alyssa Thomas. So it's so counter to what kind of college coach I was. Like, we couldn't stop anyone, but we were going to outscore everyone. But it's so fun to know that you have a team that's committed to defensively. They're committed to the preparation. We are crazy scout heavy. My assistant coaches are terrific in the film room. And, if we're gonna achieve some goals that we would love to achieve, it's all gonna start at the defensive end, Michelle.
And then if I could ask a USA basketball question, we had Dawn on a Zoom yesterday talking about the difficulty of narrowing this team down from the perspective of somebody on the committee. How difficult was that this year, especially when you consider a former MVP doesn't make the team? Was it a especially difficult thing to do, and realizing that it's always hard every Olympic cycle?
Yeah, first, Carol Cowan should be, the speaker for the committee. But in generalities, there's so many great players. And ultimately, you're trying to put together the best team possible to allow the coaching staff to have success. Every coaching staff every 4 years is a little bit different. And their desires of how to build a team and what their preferences are. And you try as a committee to understand the philosophical beliefs of that coaching staff. It was really, really difficult with some injuries and ultimately trying to put together that best roster. But Carol will ultimately be the spokesperson for the committee, but Michelle, it's every 4 years there is a difficult process to finalize that roster.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Any other questions for Kurt? All right, I think you're all set.
Glad to be back.
We'll bring in Dewanna, Kyla, and Breezy tonight. Okay, we'll go ahead and open up some questions for Dewanna. Please raise your hand and I'll call on you. Michelle, I don't think I lowered your hand before, but do you have any questions for Dewanna? Anybody?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry. I had, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
This is Michelle. Hey, Dewanna, I asked Kurt this, but just how good of a defensive squad do you think this team is this year? Even obviously without Alyssa and you get Jonquel back, but when you guys are at full strength, how good is this team? And I asked that because I thought you guys did a lot right defensively tonight.
Yeah, that's what we pride ourselves on is defense. Even without those two, they're still in our ear about defense a lot. But I think we're going to be so long, so quick, so aggressive when we get those two back. We're going to be a very hard team to beat, and that's just off defense alone. But the first thing we do in practice is defense. The first thing we talk about is defense, and just this is what Connecticut is about. But when we get those two back, man, we're going to be a very scary team defensively.
Just want to, if I can follow up with one thing, that this is something I think maybe that you've done really well in your career, and people always think of you as a great offensive player, but you've done a lot defensively. How do you feel like you've, if you will, kind of matured and progressed as a defensive player in your time in the league?
I think the older I get, the more I got to use my smartness and try to. These players are so quick and so athletic, and we have a lot of young people, a lot of young talent. So I just try to do a lot of player personnel and try to learn the player that I'm guarding each and every game. And if I can do that and battle at half as Alyssa, half with JJ and Breanna and Jasmine, then if I can stay in there a little bit, I think I'm okay because they guard the best players every night. So credit to them.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Alexa?
Hey, Dewanna. Kurt called Kyla the player of the game tonight. She had a double-double with 12 rebounds, and I'm just curious from what you've seen over the last few games from her starting, playing more often, how much of an impact she's making. And I know you also have watched her grow since, you guys were in the bubble too, and she just joined the team. So what do you think about her progression so far this season?
Oh man, Kyle's confidence right now is great, and it's what we needed. The fact that she's getting this much experience and playing time, we're going to need her down the stretch, especially if we make it to playoffs. So if we keep getting her that experience, she keep playing with that confidence. She was amazing tonight. She got us some extra key possessions, not just extra possession. It was at crucial times when we needed it. If she keep playing like that, she's going to be huge in the playoffs. And just her growth and her mentality coming off these last couple of games since JJ left has been amazing. Just happy to have her on our team and have to have her confidence where it is right now.
Charlotte?
Actually wanted to follow up on that. Kurt mentioned just seeing Kyla kind of staying ready throughout practices and games. I'm just curious what you've seen from that with Kyla staying ready when she's been on the bench and hasn't gotten these minutes or this opportunity.
I think the hardest one, we've been, pretty hard on Kyla, the vets and the starters, because we knew we were going to need her down the stretch, especially. But we see Kyla in the gym every day. She's probably one of the first ones on the court. She's getting extra shots. She just stayed in it. She always the one that's talking and encouraging. And when she got her number called, she was ready to play, and that's what we needed. But we knew that Kyla can come in and do what she needed to do to be on the court. And it was tough losing JJ, but Kylie has been right there to get those offensive rebounds that we needed, to be a defensive stopper, to drive to the basket. She's just doing all the little things that we definitely needed. And when JJ get back, we're going to ask the same thing from her off the bench. So this has just been great that she can get this experience, this playing time right now to build her confidence.
And then we saw the twins in the stands. Was this their first game being able to be here? Were they at?
Yes, they were here at the beginning of the season, but we didn't have games. So this was the first couple games that they can be here in Connecticut. So they're very excited and pumped up. They're waiting outside because they're ready to go get pizza from upstairs.
Well, I won't keep you. Enjoy the
No, you're
pizza.
fine.
Thanks, Tawana. You're all set. Okay, please raise your hands and we'll call on you for Kylah. Rafiq, you can go first.
Hey, Kylah, Dewana Bonner just talked about how much you're getting more comfortable on the offensive end. Not to mention you were combined for 25 rebounds. Like, how do you feel about the way that you continue to contribute? And what do you think you're going to have to do to maintain the starting five, or at least the six when we come out the bench when Kylee Jones comes back?
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, or maybe last game, I've just been more comfortable as in just taking my time, reading what the defense is giving me and just playing, not overthinking, trusting our system and knowing that, if I do the right things, the ball will come back, I'll get the right shot. And so when I'm out there, I'm just trying to play my game, not force anything. Like I said, take what the defense gives me. And I just want to be able to impact, both sides of the ball. I know I could be a really good defender, but I also want to be able to help offensively, whether that's finding my teammates, knocking down open shots, when I get the opportunity, or creating. So it's just a matter of just, staying the course, being patient. I know when JJ comes, I might not play as much, but I'm still going to be ready and I'm still going to I'm still going to make the most of whatever time that I get. So, I'm not looking for too far ahead. I'm just taking it day by day, and every game I just want to get better.
Alexa?
Hey, Kylah, what was just the mood like in the locker room after the game, finally getting that win after a little bit of a tough stretch, and knowing that you guys are, getting more of a rhythm, finding out how to best play without JJ?
Yeah, we were just happy that we, dug it out. We could have put our heads down, losing 3 in a row. And, Dallas is a really tough team, but we went into practice with the mindset that we were going to continue fighting. We were going to continue getting better every single day. And that's what we did. We fought. They had their lead, but we knew that basketball is a game of runs. And so we knew that if we stay the course, play good defense, we'll go on our run. And so our defense leads to our offense. And so we were just locking in onto that, and we were just getting, easy possession, extra possessions, easy possessions, because we were just locking in on the defensive end. So.
Yeah, well, on that point, Kurt said he was really pleased with how you guys stuck to the game plan defensively, whether or not it was perimeter defense. You guys held Mabry scoreless from the field and stopping their transition game. How did you think that you all did and those areas of the game that you really focused in on, in the scout?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we just have to stay the course. We know they're a good team. We know Enrique was going to hit tough shots, but we stuck to the game plan. We weren't getting on each other. We weren't, putting our heads down. We were just knowing that if we kept doing what we're supposed to do, what we practiced all week, the results will show. And so we knew she was going to hit tough shots. We knew Mabry, she's a great player. And so we just wanted to key in on them and disrupt them and try to make other people score. And so in the first half, they were doing a great job. I think they were like 65% or 70%. And, it seemed like, we weren't playing good defense, but we were still doing, what we were supposed to do. And so we just stuck to the game plan. We, rotated harder. We talked more. We stuck together. And we just fought.
Any other questions for Kylah? All right. Thanks, girl. You're all set.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll open it up to some questions for Breanna, who also had a career high. Well, I guess had a career high. This is our back-to-back career high. Please raise your hand and I'll call on you. Alexa?
Hey, Bree. Kurt said that you were a little frustrated, I think, at halftime with some turnovers, but then obviously you came out really strong in the second half, and it seemed like you kind of put the team on your back. So what kind of, mental or kind of on-court adjustments did you make, and what was really working for you in the second half of the game?
I just think in the first half, I wasn't concentrating on just finishing through the contact or whatever. So I think in the second half, I came in just being more aggressive and attacking, just to, even if there was contact, just trying to finish through it. And then I think in the first half, I was getting a little frustrated. Like I think there was double team, triple team sometimes, trying to get the ball out. I think I just had to just take what the game was giving to me. If I could go early, go early. If not, I knew I could kick it out to my teammates and repost, and they would find me. So I think it just being more patient in the second half. I think that's what I tried to do.
John?
Hey, Bree, this is John Leeser from the Marquette Wire in Milwaukee. In that third quarter, look, Natisha had a nice little pass there for that three-pointer to end the third. Can you just talk about what she's able to bring and lead on that passing to you when you're on the floor with her during these games?
Yeah, no, T, she always brings a lot of energy on the court, off the court. I know she's going to bring the energy defensively, offensively. I know she's always going to be ready for the kick out to hit the three, and I know she's going to find me on the roll. So she's always she's always contributing, and I know she's always going to find me, and I know I'm always going to be able to find her at the 3-point line.
Rafiq, you'll be the last question for Breanna.
Hey, Breanna, how good is it that you managed to eclipse your career high not once but twice? Only this time it ends a losing streak, which is another question I want to ask you. Like, how good is it to finally get out of this losing streak?
Yeah, no, it's good. I think the first game without JJ, we were just still trying to find ourselves, and I was just trying to figure out that new role, without JJ. So I think these last two games we've been getting better and better as a team. So I think this game we finally put everything together, and for me, I was finally able to just settle in the post, and I knew my teammates were going to find me. So I think just this third game, playing differently, I think we were finally able to figure everything out, and we were able to get the win tonight.
All right. Thanks, Breezy.